Heyo, Tumblr and Factual Fantasy. I came across your post, and typically I don't answer these posts because already you have so many great tips and resources that other people have provided. But this is pretty much in my wheelhouse. I've been doing this for years, so I figured maybe something I say today would be helpful to you or to anyone who ends up watching this. So let's get started. I figured I'd do a little demonstration. For this demonstration, I took a couple of the examples that you provided in your post. This is the original one, and I decided to, for like a clean slate, I decided to paint over the original Peridot and use another Peridot that you had in your post. Just copy pasted it here after cleaning her up a little bit to give, like, from start to finish, this technique that I typically use for my own artwork. So yeah, in order to get something similar, come on. In order to get something similar to this, but its own like flair. So, to get started, assuming that you already have your subject, which the line art and the base colors of your character within your background, you'll want to, if those two are separate layers, you'll want to duplicate those layers and then merge them into one. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate Peridot. That way you have two separate layers. Now, the one that's above her, the copy, what you'll want to do for that is Control U and bring up hue saturation and drag that all the way to black. Now, I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. Number one, this will be your environmental color layer. This is the layer that will sit atop of your base color layer in order to give your character a feel as if they are immersed in the background that you've given them. This is also to make our lives a lot more easy when we get to shading, lighting, just plain out rendering this character. So once you have your black silhouette stacked over on top of your original layer, what you'll want to do is, for the sake of ease, I want you to go to this lock menu right here and hit this button. Now, why we do that is if you don't have that selected, and this is for anyone who doesn't know, if you don't have that selected, if you go to paint with a brush, you'll just paint outside the lines. Nice and messy. Now, if you do hit that lock button, look what happens. Well, suddenly, no matter what I do, I stay within the lines. Makes life a whole lot easier. Now, make sure you have your layer locked. Grab your eyedrop tool, and what you'll want to do at this point is select a color, the main color of your background. In this example's case, it's reds, pinks, warm colors. And I'm going to use, let's use this darker one. This is to taste, and this is based on feel, but I'm going to use this color, and I'm going to paint bucket this right on in. So once that's paint bucketed, it's using the exact same layer. I want you to go to the drop down menu and hit multiply. So already, let me zoom out a little bit. So already, she looks a lot more immersed than what she originally did. But that is looking a little on the intense side. So if you like the way that looks, you can keep it. Otherwise, you have a couple of options. What you can do is you can play around with that color. You can make it lighter, see what that looks like. It's a little more fitting. Or, what I typically do is I do use an intense color, and I simply play around with the layer's opacity over here. For this one, let's say, this is again to taste. This is based off of feel and what you think is appropriate. I'm going to say, I think 70 looks fine. So we're going to go 70. So there. Now she's already basically immersed into the background. But let's say you want more detail to her. You want some lighting on her. You want a little extra shading on her. Something a little more nuanced and a little more detailed. So for that, what you can do, for the sake of ease, I'm just going to select that layer. Now I'm going to make a new one. let's just label this lighting. So for that, let's say we want to give her a little bit of lighting, like I said here. Just select any color from your background again. For me, I typically do this by eye, based off of different elements of the background, where the light source is coming from, what that light source is. In this case, it's just the sky and the sun and all that shit. So for the sake of ease and speed, we're just going to use this yellow. Now, once you have that yellow, choose a brush that you want to use. I'm just going to use an easy hard brush for the sake of it. And the speed of it, I typically use a softer brush sometimes, but for the demonstration we won't. And choose your lighting. Based off of how this composition looks, the lighting is rather soft, so I'm going to use the setting soft light. And what that does is make whatever you color onto this layer sit over top anything underneath it and give it, well, lighting. So let's do something really quick here. And already she looks a little more detailed than what she originally did. As if there's like a whole lot of effort going on, but nah, man, easy peasy, lemon fucking squeezy. So yeah, there you go. Let's say I want to add that to Steven to make him look a little more uniform with Peridot. I'm not going to spend any more extra time on this. Just going to make this quick. Boop, boop, boop. Well, suddenly, you have yourself a composition that looks not too fucking bad. So yeah, that's the technique I typically use. Now, you can go as far with this as you possibly want. This is just to give you a little a starting point to experiment with and move forward with. To give you more examples, here's a couple of my work that I used the exact same technique on, just a little more into it, I guess I could say. So here it is without lighting, without all that rendering, and here it is with it, using the exact same technique I just showed you. It's just a little more detailed and a little more nuanced and has a little more going for it for the sake of detail. But yeah, it's the exact same fucking method that I just showed you. Get out of this. Another example of my works. This is the flat color rendering. Same method, just a little more nuanced for detail's sake, but same fucking method. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully it made sense, because I tend to be a little more long-winded than I would like. But yeah, hopefully something in there was of use to any of you guys. I hope you enjoyed the little video. Keep drawing, keep being the kick-ass. And yeah, man,